Good day, class. Our tutorial video for today is about Michael Porter's generic strategy in business. And our learning outcomes, number one, students will be able to understand how to apply Porter's generic strategy in the business. Number two, students will be able to understand why it is called generic strategy. Students will be able to comprehend the application of each of the strategy. All right, let's start. Michael Porter, okay, is a professor and a management guru in the field of competitive strategy, and he is the department head of Harvard Business School. He has a lot of theories and books and journals, like for example, the competitive forces model or five forces model, the value chain model, the Porter Diamond model, and the theories on generic strategies that were developed by him are known worldwide at every level of management. It is called generic because it can be applied in any type of business, whether it is product-based or service-based, micro, small, medium to corporation. That's why it's called generic strategy. Here, let us try to explain this in layman's term. You can see in the x-axis is the scope of the market, while on the x-axis is the competitive advantage. When you say competitive advantage, you are using your resources to the peak of you maximize everything, you process your input of resources in such a way that it's efficient and effective. That is competitive advantage. And according to Michael Porter, there are two types of competitive advantage any businesses can implement and plan. We have cost and we have differentiation. Meaning to say, if you are using cost as your competitive advantage, it means to say that you are using a low cost strategy in your business organization. While if you are using differentiation as your competitive advantage, it means to say that your product or service is very unique and you differentiate yourself against the competition. That is the x-axis consisting of the cost and differentiation. Now, on the y-axis, there is here a niche market and there is a total market or broad market. This niche market or narrow market is a special or what we call you identify a segment that you want to target in your business so that you can offer your product or service to this narrow market or niche market. So let us try to uh, remove some notes. Okay. We have here in the scope, if your scope is in the broad market and you are and your strategy is about cost and you are talking about the broad market. Therefore, your strategy should be cost leadership. At the bottom, if you are trying to serve a niche market and your strategy or your competitive advantage is cost, you have here a cost focus. This one is the focus. And the focus is divided into two segments, the cost focus and the differentiation focus. All right? Now, on the right column, if you are talking of a broad market and your strategy is uniqueness and differentiation, therefore, your strategy should be differentiation. On the other hand, if you are targeting a niche market and your strategy is differentiation, so you should go on with differentiation focus. Again, this is the scope and this is the competitive advantage, and we have cost and we have differentiation. Let us move forward. Okay. In cost leadership, okay, an entrepreneur sets out to become the low-cost producers in its industry. The source of cost advantage are varied and depend on the structure of the industry. They may include the pursuit of economies of scale, which was discussed in one of my tutorial video, proprietary technology, preferential access to raw materials, and other factors. So, those are your strategies in cost leadership. A low-cost producer must find and exploit all sources of cost advantage or cost leadership. If a firm can achieve and sustain overall cost leadership, then it will be an above average performer in its industry, provided it can command prices at or near the industry average. So, cost leadership, okay, this one, when you are competing in a broad market and cost competitive strategy, the low cost producer, you are the low cost producer in your industry. And your strategies could be economies of scale or proprietary technology, preferential access to raw materials, and other factors. So, there is technology, there is process, and you must use your human capital. So, cost leadership is about minimizing the cost to the organization of delivering product and services. The cost or price paid by the customer is a separate issue. Let's proceed with differentiation. In differentiation strategy, a firm seeks to be unique in its industry along some dimensions that are widely valued by buyers. It selects one or more attributes that many buyers in an industry perceive as important and uniquely positions itself to meet those needs. It is rewarded for its uniqueness with a premium price cost because they can be applied to products or services in all industries and to organization of all sizes. No? All right. Differentiation strategy, you are competing in a large market and your strategy is differentiation. Okay. It is a firm seeks to be unique in its industry along some dimensions that are widely used and valued by the customers. It is rewarded for its uniqueness with a premium price. Take for example, iPhone. iPhone is very unique but because it is an iOS and it is not an Android phone. Let's take about focus, which is this one, no? And there are two segments, the cost in a niche market and your strategy is cost, meaning to say there is a choice of narrow competitive scope within the industry. If you are using cost focus, okay, in a cost focus, a firm seeks a cost advantage in its target segment. Cost focus means emphasizing cost minimization within a focus market, no, or your niche market. On the other hand, if you are focused or your strategy is differentiation focus, this, this differentiation focus, a firm seeks differentiation in its target segment or niche. Differentiation focus means pursuing strategy differentiation within a focus market. So focus, it is really in your target segment or niche market, whether you are using cost focus strategy or differentiation focus strategy. Okay? So the generic strategy of focus rests on the choice of this narrow competitive scope within the industry. So the marketer select a segment or a group of segment in the industry and try to customize its strategy to serving them to the exclusion of others. The focus strategy again has two variants, no? In cost focus, a firm seeks a cost advantage in that particular target segment, while a differentiation focus, the entrepreneur seeks differentiation in its niche segment. Both variants of the focus strategy rest on difference between a focused target segment and other segment in the industry. Okay? So, that ends our tutorial video. Thank you very much again for my valued listeners. Again, continue to subscribe, like, and share the channel. And I'll see you next time. Good day and always keep safe.